Hello, everybody, and welcome to day one of the Human Condition of the Week show. Again, we'll be talking about guilt, and our first piece of literature is going to be Autumn Begins in Martins Ferry, Ohio, which is the poem we'll be covering. It involves interpersonal and parental guilt. For context, Martins Ferry is a renowned mining town in Ohio. The men and fathers work in the mining industry to provide for themselves and their families, while the women and mothers stay at home to care for their homes and children. Many townsfolk perceive it as being stuck. In the poem, we see the town from the perspective, presumably, of one of these men in the mining industry. The unnamed person sits in the Chev High School football stadium and reflects while their son plays football. Quote, all the proud fathers are ashamed to go home. Their women cluck like starved pullets, dying for love. Therefore, their sons grow suicidally beautiful at the beginning of October and gallop terribly against each other's bodies. So, because of this poem, I actually invited someone on from Martins Ferry, Ohio, who shares a similar story with the person in the poem. They are going to remain anonymous because, I respect that, but here they are.
Hello, Dr. Corey, and thanks again for inviting me onto your show.
Of course.
I feel both interpersonal and parental guilt. I feel guilty that my wife has to stay in Martins Ferry, Ohio, living the way she does and starving out of love. I also feel guilty for my son, who is trying his hardest to make something of himself when chances are he'll end up following the same path as me. I can't help but feel the way I do, so I turn my feelings of guilt outward into positive emotion. I want my son to succeed, so I cheer and rave for his game like there's no tomorrow, hoping that my son can carve a better future for himself with his talents.
For sure. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm really happy to see that you're using guilt as a motivator and not letting it kind of crush you. Because in your situation, it'd be super easy to let it overcome you and all your thoughts, but you've proven that those negative emotions can actually be used for your advantage. But do you have any final thoughts before you go?
No, sorry, I actually gotta go work at the mine soon, but thanks so much for having me on the show.
Of course. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for stopping by to talk once again, and we will see you tomorrow, or I will see you tomorrow with day 2.